Hello and welcome to the channel. I originally intended this video to be an unboxing, but when I shot it last Friday, the light was bad and the video quality came out a bit speckly. So I decided to reshoot everything except the actual unboxing itself and my initial reactions to the watch. So please forgive the poor video quality of the unboxing segment. I also decided that since I've now had an opportunity to wear the watch for a few days and form an opinion, I might as well make this a full review. Anyway, I wasn't expecting to be making this video at all anytime soon, but last Wednesday I did something I don't normally do when it comes to watch buying. I acted on impulse. But before we talk about that, let's get the wrist check out the way. So today I'm wearing my Citizen Eco-Drive chronograph, a fuss-free watch with a nice simple old school aesthetic which I like very much. I first became aware of the Orient Triton last summer. It has a lot of nice features and I really like the look of the blue version. But when I searched for one online, they were nowhere to be found. Everyone had sold out. All I could find was the black one, and it's not what I wanted. I already own two black dive watches. I decided to forget about it, but as the months went by, I couldn't stop thinking about this watch, and I would periodically have a look online to see if they'd become available again. I did find one or two for sale, but dealers were asking silly money for them, and I wasn't prepared to pay it. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I was browsing on eBay last Wednesday, and I stumbled across a blue Orient Triton for sale at a reasonable price. Oh, I tried to navigate away from the page, but it was too late, and I found my mouse hand moving closer and closer to the Buy It Now button. The rest, as they say, is history. The watch arrived on Thursday at midday, but it was too hot to move, let alone shoot an unboxing video, so I waited for a better opportunity. Anyway, enough of the waffle, and let's get on with the unboxing and see what I bought. The trusty old Swiss Army knife. Here we go. Right then, so that doesn't want to let me in at all. Here we go. Aha. So what we got? Ta-da! Well, that's nice. So, and we have the guarantee. And I guess this is a manual. Oh, here we go. Right, a manual. And we have the hang tag. So I believe this comes with a dive extension. There it is. Very clever. I see, that hooks in like that. Right. Nice. Okay. So, what can we say? Well, it's very pretty. There doesn't appear to be any plastic over the front of the watch. It's mainly been saved for the bracelet. So I need to remove the hang tag. And then I guess try it on. It's quite hefty. Let's see how this fits. Actually, that's not a bad fit without any adjustments at all. I like that already. Okay. Well, I'm going to just cut and adjust the time and take the plastic off, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I did have to size the watch in the end. I took a link out and then adjusted it on the micro adjustments, and it fits me perfectly now. So it's got just the right amount of flop and a bit of an air gap where I can get a finger in under there. So I'm very happy with that. The bracelet is nice. I mean, the links are solid, and so are the end links. I'm not crazy about this pressed metal clasp, but then again, you know, I've got a pressed metal clasp on my Rolex Explorer 2, so I really can't say too much about that. In fact, I'd say this one is probably better quality. Anyway, there you have it. Let's get on and start with the dimensions, shall we? We have a width of 43 millimeters. We have a thickness of 14 millimeters. We have a lug to lug of just over 50 millimeters. And we have a lug width of 22 millimeters. There is quite a bit of heft to this watch. Let's see what it weighs, shall we? Okay. Well, there you are, 200 grams. This watch is definitely a bit of a chunky monkey, but it's not the heaviest watch I own. The bracelet is nice. There is a little tiny bit of rattle, but it doesn't pull the arm hairs, and it lays nicely too. The watch sits nicely on the wrist. So it doesn't feel, you know, top heavy or anything like that. We also have hacking and hand winding, a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and I do like the power reserve meter as well. As you can see at the moment, it's telling me I've got 40 hours power reserve. The bezel has got really nice smooth action to it, not too much back play either. It's also worth noting that it lines up absolutely perfectly. In fact, everything on this watch is lined up perfectly, including the chapter ring and everything else. Seiko, take note. I like the drilled lugs. That's always a useful feature, and it suits the watch. It's going to make it much easier to get the bracelet off if I ever want to put this watch on a rubber strap or a NATO. The case back is a screw down, and it has the Orient logo stamped into it. It looks good. The crown is a good size and pretty easy to operate. It pops off the threads nicely, but there is a little bit of play there. So when you screw it back on, it does feel very slightly gritty, but that may improve with time. I like the case shape and also the finishing. All the side surfaces are high polish and all the top surfaces are really nicely brushed and catch the light really nicely. It's got a gorgeous sheen to it. The dial is a knockout. It's a gorgeous shade of blue, and it's got a kind of softened sunburst effect, which is really, really nice. The indices look like they're applied. They're polished and raised above the dial, so they do look like they're applied, although I suspect in reality they've just been stamped in. But it does look really nice nonetheless. I love the shape of the hands too. The whole thing is very good. The lume is very bright, as you would expect with a proper diver's watch. Let's see if I can activate it. We'll have a look. There you go. I mean, that rivals my SKX 007. And they've even put a little dab of lume on the pointer for the power reserve. Anyway, I was looking for the origin of the Triton name and its relevance to all things aquatic. I always thought a Triton was a custom-built motorcycle, you know, a Triumph engine in a Norton frame. Anyway, it seems that the reference is from Greek mythology and that Triton was the son of Poseidon and therefore a sea god just like his dad. Honestly, the things you learn researching these videos. Anyway, moving back on topic. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this watch, and I'm certainly not feeling any buyer's remorse. I've been wearing it for 3 days now, and it's been looking good and keeping remarkably good time as well. I am happy to add it to my collection. Strapcode are already making several bracelets for this watch, and it was only released last year, so they obviously think that it's an instant classic. I have to agree with them. I did consider fitting one of their Angus Jubilee bracelets, and in the end I decided that the original bracelet is good enough. So, well done Orient. You produced a watch that has many of the features of your £1,300 flagship Saturation Diver, and at a fraction of the cost. And that the £300 or £400 that this watch will cost somebody, it's an absolute steal. For those of you who've made it this far, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please like, share and subscribe. I don't upload often, but in my view that's a good thing. Otherwise I'd be desperately looking for things to say, and I might even end up making videos like 5 watches that your dog will appreciate. You know, the sort of thing. Anyway, why not leave a comment? Have you been thinking about buying an Orient Triton? Have you already got one? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.